I do not know what is going on. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Carrie, my love. I did something to my StreamYards, but I think I fixed it. Hey, Fairy Meadows, Peas, Jennifer, hello. I mean, I was, hey, Mama Cannoli, I'm so glad to see y'all because I did something. Kathy, hello. Something to my StreamYards, and I don't know what I did, but I got it. We got it. We got it. I think I tried to remove a channel, I mean, a account like that I never used. It's and I what I did. Eva Elizabeth, Deborah, hello. Hi, Terry. Oh, I need how long to get there, Eva. Just saying. I'm so glad to see y'all. Hey, Daphne, this has been well, Miss. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much, Miss Audrey. Thank you. This has been a good, fun week with this because we already know. Well, some things I didn't know about these murders, and it was all interesting. I was interested all week, and I've been like, usually on Saturdays I get like nervous. Y'all probably could tell. I know I get nervous because I think I'm gonna forget something, and so I'll run down here and I'll write it down. Right? Thank you, Fairy Menace. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get my roots dead soon. I love you too. I'm gonna get my roots dead because they are. There we go. Oh, this is backwards. So there we go. I didn't get my roots dead, but it's Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do. You better tell it to stop it. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all saying that. Hey, Tragedy Pimps Exposed. This is going to be a fun night. A fun night. I even thought to myself, you know what? This is like the pajama party subject where you get around, and I haven't even gotten into the the haunted aspect. Thank you, Carrie. I love you. Hey, Sassy Sarah. I was thinking about you, Sarah. I was upstairs talking to Catherine. She was asking me about the meet and greet and if we were going to have another one. And I said, yeah, I don't think we're going to be in the same spot, but it'll probably be close. And I was telling about you and, Aunt Kathy had to miss it. Hey, Collector. And how I missed you. It was so fun. I don't know. It was so fun. Could have lasted longer, but hey, Ocean Tide. Oh, Paulin in here. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I love you all. So my husband and my son are upstairs watching playoff games. And I think my son's watching. Oh, he is. It's a hockey game tonight as well. So he'll probably 21 need a bypass one day because he gets to. Hey, Donna. Well, thank you, Donna. Hey, Diamond Cutter. Every time I see that you've been live a couple times because I don't get my notifications is on it's total. I don't even get my own notifications when I'm live. I didn't watch that movie, Fairy Meadows, but I want to now. I remember the Elizabeth Montgomery one from was it 75? I've seen it. Oh, Ghost. Thank you, Ghost. I love you so much. Ghost, can I just tell you, I am in every one of your lives. I just don't type. I haven't missed one yet. So I'm just letting you know. Sometimes I think, I love Aunt Kathy, and I want to meet Aunt Kathy bad, real bad. And yes, I don't know where, if we're gonna have one. I hope we do, because I miss y'all after we're doing this one. Oh, Hold on. Y'all stop phone. My effing phone. I am having electrical. Well, this isn't electrical, is it? Difficulties with this. I'll carry it around. Damn it. I'm just me. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Hi. I miss you. Diamond, I hope all is well with you. You're still just as gorgeous as ever. Just as gorgeous as ever. Wait a minute. She says, what? She says she looks like, oh, so do I. So do I. Trust me and believe it. I do. I am, I ain't gonna lie. I'm in a little bit of like, welcome Salty for 3 months. Okie. Thank you. Both of you guys. Thank you. We're gonna start doing more member stuff. So much more member stuff. I really got to get my head in this game because y'all know I'm gonna quit my job. Live off YouTube. I don't have a job. My job is them kids up there. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna make YouTube my only income. I gotta go to work. Oh, so Tuesday and Thursday, I scheduled a live. Did y'all see? One was about Jody Husentroot, and the other one was about Trudy Appleby. I got down here. I turned, hey, Lumpy Space, how are you? I turned, I went live for like a minute, and upstairs I could hear something. I knew one good. So I ran up there, right? And, it's when I have to run upstairs, it's never anything good. So after a while, I was like, oh shit, I never went back downstairs. Oh damn. I've been recording I've been live. And I come running down here and I had ended the stream of 2 minutes. So I said, well, that's all right. I can double up Thursday and we'll do both of these. And I forgot. Tinks, I forgot. A ripples in time. Hi, Texas girl. She was at Lizzie Borden's house today. Yeah, it's a bed and breakfast now. Some of the shots that I have, some of the obviously somebody, yeah, it's like they've preserved it, and yeah. So I had to go. Well, I didn't go to their website, but if you Google like Joe Biden would sniff. Oh. I'm annoying. Thank you, love. I appreciate. Hey, how Halloween baby. Anyway, I was looking at a lot of the pictures come from there, and they've preserved it. And there is one shot coming up the front stairs of that home where you could see the stepmother. I'm not going to call it anything else, but that you could see the stepmother on the floor. If you'd have looked over, you would have seen it. And yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. I got my colored cups. Oh, I'm so happy. Listen, $8 and something, and I'm for 100 of these, blue, orange, purple, and green. Happy as I can be. Best purchase I've made in a long time. Thank you, Tings, for becoming a member. Welcome to the screening room. You're snuggled up in bed? Yeah. Okay. That's good. You snuggle up in bed. We're going to get on this. Miss Lizzie Borden. Let me make sure I have, oh, fuck. Hold on. Y'all know I'm not good with, hold on. Might have to call Catherine. Nope. Well, yep, nope. No, it's too big. I mean, it's too little. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, wait a minute. Tracy B, thank you for the Cash App. Let me call Catherine. Hold on. She's probably going to be snuggled up too. I forgot how to spell her name, but I got it now. I forgot how to spell my daughter's name, but it's good. Why isn't her name in here? Cat. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to bake the. Hey, London girl. She F-U buttoned me. She F-U buttoned me. Hold on. I went right to voicemail. Watcher. Hello. I can't believe that her case got solved. Well, who you talking about? Lizzie? Can you tell Catherine to come down here, please? I tried to call her, but she hit the F-U button. Thank you. Bye. I understand why it's doing that. I don't understand a lot of things. With this case, there's a lot of people. Jack the Ripper, but well, oh God, who was her name? Was it Cromwell? She solved it. Or thought she solved it. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on.
I did not hit the F-U button.
You hit the F-U button, but it's all right.
My phone is dead.
Hold on, we're doing it. Hold on, we got things are happening. My IT department is here. My IT department is here. So this is under. They're under her. Don't get too snazzy. The IT department is on it as we speak. As we speak. Do you know if I ever learn to do this, Mom, I will be.
Mom, I can teach you.
Unstoppable.
I can teach you so many times. You just forget.
I don't forget, but somebody needs to make some notes. Somebody needs to make some notes.
You'd still get confused, Mom.
Well, I don't need you to put it on a front street like that, but you're not wrong.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong profile.
Sorry. This is going to be very exciting when it starts. Exciting!
Well, now why are you doing this?
I don't think that's right. Do you need me to move?
No.
All the excitement is going to happen.
It's gonna be so exciting, you know.
It's gonna be. Are you kidding me? Exciting ain't the word. It's not the word. Earth, I love you. Hold on, I fucked up.
I don't know why it's not. I feel like, oh, my back hurts.
All right.
Okay, hold on. You might have to leave. You might have to leave studio and come back.
Do what?
You might have to leave studio and come back.
Are you? Oh, I can do that.
You can do that?
All right, yeah. All right, I'm going to leave, but I'm going to come back. All right. So, hold on. All right, dear. I'm coming. It's going to be great. Hey, Susan. Yay. I love you.
Can I just say that this is going to be so...
All right. That's
okay, is it the Shannon or the Shannon?
The Shannon.
I just clicked the
that
Shannon
one.
and it didn't work.
All right. Click that one then.
This one?
Yeah. Duh. All right. Oh, the little check. Isn't that good?
I guess it is good. Can I?
What?
Okay.
Do not call me to task in front of my friends.
Call you to what?
To task.
Okay, it's processing because you have 50 freaking 3.
But I didn't want to bother you to open up another thing.
Open up another slide? Okay, and I hit your slides.
All right. That is not anyone we needed. That's
Scroll
Jody
down,
Who's and
scroll
True.
Okay, you're good. Okay. Can I just say something funny to your people?
Yeah.
I will mention something, okay? I'll be talking about my day.
Yeah.
And so I'm in forensic science, okay?
Yeah.
And so I mentioned blood.
Yeah.
And my mom will just start talking about Lizzie Borden. Yesterday I was talking about blood. She was like, "Oh, you know Lizzie Borden? There's a bucket of blood in the basement."
Yeah. Oh, there was though.
And then you just start talking about something else.
Yeah. I have ADD. I can't help it.
It's so funny because when you learn something, you learn every single detail.
Yeah, I do.
About these cases.
Hold on, I'm trying to get down to this fucking.
You're gonna get deep.
All right, we'll start. I got it. Okay, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, IT department. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Get out. Thank you.
Your wax makes my head hurt.
Oh, really? Your whole face makes my head hurt. She is adorable. All right, stop. Now you messed me up. Now I have to realign.
Tell them my birthday's on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. She's turning 18 on Thursday.
18?
No more babies in the house. No more babies in the house.
I'll still act like one's fine.
Yeah, it's true. All right, here we go. I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. I knew I was going to do it, though, but I forgot. I was going to do it. My whole life is true crime these days. People talk to me in real life. Well, you know what? We need to. That's why maybe this is why I like going back to Lizzie Borden, in 1892. Well, I don't guess they were petty back then. I mean, when you are, I don't know. Anytime you want to take your oh, that's sweet. Kales, how are you? All right, let's get started. Let me get all my notes out because I'm so anal retentive about this note. Now, so as we know, Andrew Borden. I'm just going to get to have y'all ever seen a picture of Lizzie Borden's mother? Well, you're going to tonight. When he was 23, he married Lizzie Borden's mother. Let me tell you, she was a sweet looking little girl. I don't know why I have all these maps up here. Let's see. Fucked it up again. All right, this is Lizzie Borden's mother, Sarah. I'm trying to see if she looks like Lizzie. She looks like Emma, the older daughter. So she and Andrew had Emma. That was their first child. 2 years later, I'm older than she am. Thank you, Kels. I appreciate. Thank you so much. They had a second daughter named Alice a few years after Emma. And Alice, unfortunately, didn't make it to her second birthday. And then they had Lizzie in 1860. So she died when Izzy was did I say Izzy? When Lizzie was about around 2 years old. So she probably, I think there was even some kind of conversation that she'd had with somebody that she didn't remember her. I think it was, she didn't remember her mom at all. But Andrew married 2 or 3 years later. He married, and there's her mom with Emma. So now y'all have seen. I guess she looks like her dad. All right, and there's Emma. Emma is, let's see, at the time of these crimes, Emma was 41 years old and Lizzie was 32. So there's a little bit of, time in there. But I think Emma looked on to Lizzie like a daughter, really. She raised her, in her mind. But Andrew Borden married another woman named Abby when, let's see, I think Lizzie was 5 and Emma was about 12. And everything went smoothly. Well, you don't want to see that part. Everything went relatively smoothly. I mean, it, for a lot of years, a lot of years, until it didn't anymore. Oh, there's Bridget, bless her heart. So around, let's see, it'd be 1895 or so, things were so bad with Lizzie in the house that her father, who was a miser of epic proportions, he would squeeze everything he could out of a penny, and he ended up sending Lizzie to Europe for an 11-week tour with some more of her richer cousins. But I don't know if they were richer or not. I think they all had about the same amount of money. Hey, Sassy Sarah, again, I love you. So she went on this 11-week tour of Europe. Her father said it was a 30th birthday gift, and he was really hoping that Lizzie would come back and be in a much better place. Let's see that you got a woman, a 30-year-old woman, all right, they have no plumbing in the house, even though plumbing's a real thing. They have no gas there's no gas lights, there's no electricity of any kind in that house. In a time period where it was common. So you take her and you send her on probably a very nice cruise over there. Top of the line, everything, where she's got running water, hot and cold, and a toilet in the house and electricity. And now she has to come back to River Fall and her home where, I mean, they pooped in the damn basement. And then they pooped in the basement. So, also, Lizzie was a bit of a kleptomaniac. She would steal things even though she had enough money to buy them. So Andrew, her father, said, you know what? He went to all of the merchants and he said, when she steals something, just let me know. I'll pay for it. Probably not the best way to handle it, but I mean, I'm not going to second guess him. I'm not going to do it. And then I'm getting like running up to the end, right? So there was a break-in in the house, and Andrew and Abby, I think, were away. And if you let me find I'm gonna find the floor plan. All right, so the floor plan of the upstairs, there's 5 bedrooms up here. All right. And if you look over here, notice there is no hallways. This actually used to be a 2-family home. And when he married Abby, he bought this second, 9th Street and 2nd, whatever. He bought it. He made it into one home. Would have been much easier just to, anyway. So if you look upstairs, you'll see there are no hallways. Every door leads to another door, leads to another door, leads to another door. There's no privacy if you wanted it. I think I might have a better. So anyway, they had a break in. They had a break in, and they went in and they stole only from Abby and Andrew money and jewelry. So Andrew and all of them knew it was Abby. I mean, sorry, not Abby. They knew it was Lizzie. They knew it. And so there was a strict, everybody lock your damn door policy, right? So from his bedroom to Lizzie and him's was locked. From Andrew's, you could only really get to their bedroom from the back of the house. Let's look at this. Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you another thing that Lizzie did. Let me tell you another thing about Lizzie. Hold on, damn it. I can't see. It's very hard to see the slides. Very hard to see the slides. I'm going to find you of the bedroom here in a minute. The thing of the bedroom. All right, here we go. So you could only really get to Andrew and Abby's room for the back stairs. Then we have the guest room right here, right? And that's where Abby was murdered. But look at Emma's bedroom and look at Lizzie's bedroom. Look at that bed. So the big bedroom used to be Emma's bedroom, but somehow, some way, Lizzie conned her out of it. So now that's Lizzie's bedroom. But as again, you can see no privacy if you wanted it. But after Lizzie stole from her own father, he said everybody. I mean, he actually had a lock and key, like a lock. So I mean, that's how impressed he was. So tensions in the house were growing. Oh, let me put the invite. Tensions in the house were absolutely growing. It was not good. Sometime in the 1880 some. Sarah had Abby had a sister, and her husband died. And Andrew, being supportive, I can't believe he did this, but he did it. He paid off her mortgage so that she wouldn't have to worry about it. And when Emma and Lizzie found out about it, there was hell to pay. That is right around, they stopped calling Abby mother and started calling her Mrs. Borden. They stopped having meals with their parents at all. They stopped everything. It was like, So what Andrew did was he had this building, a tenement, really, a tenement. It was a junk heap. But he sold it to Lizzie and Emma for $1. Now, he knew it needed a lot of work because it was a dump. And they had all these, all these tenants in it. And he just sat back and watched as they failed miserably. So less than a year from him giving them the building for $1, they sold it back to him for everything it was worth. So who learned the lesson there? Not nobody, really. Nobody. So they were really upset that Andrew was starting to give Abby's family property. Do what he wants. He had a lot of it. He was the president of banks. He was having built these huge buildings built, his name on them. He owned all kinds of property. He owned a farm. He owned a lot of stuff. Yeah. The only thing he could manage anything in business, but he could not manage that damn daughter. So, now we're going to get down to these murders. We're going to get right down to it. August, there's something happened in July 1892. Something happened in that house. Nobody knows what it is. But Emma and Lizzie left for an extended period of time. Emma went to stay with friends, and Lizzie just kind of floated around. She ended up coming back to Fall River and staying in a boarding house for 4 days. There, you doing? Quinn, I hope you're doing well. So she came back to the house on the 2nd of August. The 3rd of August, her uncle, her real mother's brother, came in, right? And he was staying in the guest room at the boarding home. Andrew Borden always welcomed him, any of their family. The funny thing is, Lizzie wouldn't get near him. She made sure that well, all right, I'll go to half pint. Also on the 3rd of August, Lizzie goes down the street to her friend's house, Alice Russell. And they're talking. She's, they're gabbing. And Lizzie starts saying some really odd things like, I just think maybe Jana, I think Father, I just have a really bad feeling about Father. And, I think they're going to try to kill him or poison him. It's just, I can't shake it. And, Alice Russell's like, well, that's weird. So Lizzie returns to her house at 9 o'clock. And instead of walking in and going to the sitting room, right, where they're all talking, she goes up the steps in her room, shuts the door. She doesn't even speak to her uncle. Now, what they were discussing, don't really know. But at this point, Emma and Lizzie had gotten wind that maybe her father was going to get a new will. Eliza was going to get a new will. And in that will, he was going to leave $25,000 to Emma and to Lizzie. And Abby was going to get everything else. That was Outshine. How are you? Good to see you. So that's what these girls were running around thinking. Now, I don't know about Emma. Emma was up at her friend's house and not having it. Emma, they said, did not have anything of a personality. If you met Emma on the street, you wouldn't remember her. There was nothing to her, like personality-wise. But Lizzie's the same way. We'll discuss it, but I mean, yeah, she's kind of weird, just kind of very weird. So I don't know if whatever Lizzie heard, because Her bedroom would be right on top of the sitting room where they're sitting. She could hear everything they were saying. Whatever they were talking about, it pushed something into play. It pushed something into play. And I would love to know if they were talking about it, the possibilities of it, or whatever. I don't know. But whatever it was, hell to pay. Because somebody decided the next day on the 4th of August that shit was going to start changing. I hate to say it like that, but I'm sorry. It started out as an everyday morning. Little Bridget. Let me tell you about Bridget. Bridget is their maid. She was from Ireland. Now, remember me telling you about how Andrew Borden would squeeze, they had a dinner of mutton, and you didn't, hello, baby. They had a dinner of mutton and broth. Mutton is like, isn't it like sheep stomach? I don't really know. I don't know. But he kept wanting to have it because it hadn't been eaten, right? And they are eating this morning, noon, and night, this shit. So for 3 days before the 5th, the 4th, they were all sick. Bridget was sick. Abby was sick. Abby even went to the doctor across the street, their family doctor, and said, listen, somebody's poisoning me. And he said, no, I don't think you've been poisoned. He said, and Abby thought she was being poisoned. But remember, when they started eating the mutton and getting sick, Lizzie wasn't there. She had not come back yet from her, when they got mad. So I have to give that to her. I don't think it was her. I don't think she tried to poison them. But I mean, who the hell knows? Poor Bridget right here. She was deathly ill. And the morning of the 4th, Abby says, I want you to go out and wash the windows inside and out. It was the hottest day of the year. And Bridget was like, give me, oh, please, Jesus, no. And Abby said, no, we need that done. So she would be up on a ladder. She'd get off and go in the yard and throw up. Everybody was barfing. Also, Bridget's name is Bridget. Their old maid's name was Maggie. Bridget had worked for them for over 2 years, right? 2 years. Emma and Lizzie didn't see the point in calling her name. They would just keep calling her Maggie, the old maid's name. That's how much respect. Mutton is defined as meat from, okay, thank you, babe. I was wondering, Quinn, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. They wouldn't even call this woman by her real name because they didn't feel like they needed to change their, I don't know. Abby and Andrew called her Bridget. So poor Bridget. Also, Bridget's room was in the attic. How many of y'all have ever gone upstairs on a hot day? And I would say, like, we have an attic, and you go to put something up there, whatever. Can you imagine living in an attic? No air, no nothing. I don't know how she did it, but anyway, she did it. Whatever she came from must have been worse than this. All right. So 6:15, Bridget gets up to start her day. She has to go down in the cellar, gets the wood, bring it up, start the stove off, and get breakfast going. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, Abby, Andrew, and John Morse, the uncle. I think I could give you a name. Mutton different from others. Yeah, I always thought it was like stuffed stomach. I wouldn't mind eating it now. So yeah, shit. Bridget cooks them breakfast. John leaves for the day very early, about 7:45. He had stopped by the post office. Then he was going to go and visit another niece that lived about a mile or so away. So he was out for the day. Around 9 o'clock, right, Andrew left for the day. He was going to walk around, check on his banks, check on his buildings, check on his anything like that. Go get it. He got a shave every morning. Yeah, well, Liza, I mean, I get it, but when you already don't like, I don't like Lizzie Borden. I don't like her. I don't like her. And I really don't like Emma, the sister. I don't. He left, and so Abby says, "Well, I'm going to go upstairs, and I'm going to change out the pillowcases, basically." Girl, welcome. Thank you. So let's get close to that. Let's go. I have not put in any nasty. The one that, and I'll warn you before I do it. This is the guest room. I have not, the photo that I have of Andrew Borden is blurred, so you're not going to see anything. The grossest thing you're going to see is a skull. Sorry, but you have to see the skull to know. So she goes up there to change the pillowcases out, and some think that she was trying to run from whoever was in there, but she didn't get far. But I need you to look at the white bedcloth that's on there. That's white, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute, because you might think that this was a bloodbath. Kind of wasn't. It kind of wasn't. And it wasn't because they assume that the first hit that these people took to the head killed them, the very first one. And so that after that, it would not be as much splashing about, and I didn't think your blood stopped that quick, but I guess it does. It would stop as soon as your heart stops. Little do I know. What do I know? What do I know? All right. And this is the room now. And I want you to look up under here. You see up under that bed? That doesn't go all the way to the floor. And I'll show you that a little bit later. I think maybe up here. Sometimes I think I'm going to move stuff and I don't do it. Or I open this up to do it. And believe it or not, this is a little hairpiece that was knocked off of her head first blow. Now, this wasn't her actual hair. If you'll look, you'll see little bobby pins and stuff. But she would pin it to the back of her head. And the axe got that. It was actually laying up on the bed. She was hit 19 times. Hey, Midnight Baker! She was hit 19 times. Exactly, London Girl. This is what I'm saying. As much as I do not like Lizzie Borden, I understand why people have doubts. All right. I understand it now. I really do. Or I used to know someone who was really tiny, but they could get angry. See, didn't you know? That's what I'm thinking. But hey, 4. Hey, I love you, 4. I hope you're doing well. 19 blows. So she would have, or he would have had to have, they think, sat on Abby's back. And let me go back. Let me go find that. Just wailed on her. Why did I put that all the way up here near the beginning? What in the world? Why do I do things like that? All right. Oh, there's another one. So here we go. She's over here. You see these steps are over here? Yeah, they come into play. This was a very odd day. Here she is again. Is that all right? Stop showing me that. Okay. This is coming up the step. Hey, golden beavers in the house. It's a party. This is coming up the actual steps in the house and looking over at the guest room. And if you notice, you can see under that bed. I don't know how well you can see up under that bed because, I can't make this shot any tighter than it's going to be. But this is it. You could see it if you wanted to. And I can tell you when the two people that went to look for her in the house after finding Andrew in the house, they saw her immediately and they were from this angle. They saw her, so it was easier than it looks to see. But nobody looked for her, and they've moved the bed here, and there she is. So, I didn't put any gross pictures in here. I swear I didn't. It states that blood flow stops when it. I just didn't realize. You think it'd be some kind of what? Oh, I'm trying to use a big word. Oh no. Momentum. It would take it a minute to stop, but I don't guess so. Bridget asked where Abby was. And when Lizzie came down, Lizzie came down for breakfast at about 9, bless her heart, after everybody had left. And so Bridget had said something. She said, "Oh, somebody came with a note. Her friend is sick and wanted her to come, to their house, and she went there." Now, Bridget thought this was odd because Abby was really shy, and the only place she would have gone like that would be to her sister's house. The sister was much younger. It was a half sister and was much younger. And she thought she would only have left to go there if, somebody was sick. She wouldn't go anywhere else, but, whatever. All right. So she's out there cleaning the windows. Takes her about 2-3 hours to do, all on the outside, all while throwing up. And she comes in, and there's Lizzie again. And she said, "Oh, listen, Bridget." Oh, no, she didn't say Bridget. She didn't say Bridget. She said, "Oh, Maggie, so-and-so downtown has got a big sale on fabric at, 10 cents a yard. Do you want to go down there and get you some, some fabric?" And Bridget was like, "No, I want to go home. I want to go upstairs and go to bed." And, so she said, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, go take a nap. Go, rest, feel better." I'm talking like that because. So Andrew decides halfway through his travels that he's coming home early, very early. He'd also told John Morse, the uncle, and his son-in-law, brother-in-law, to come back for the dinner, which they called lunch dinner back then. And said, come back for dinner. So wait for that one. So he decides he's too sick. He doesn't feel well. Andrew comes home. Well, because of these burglaries, they're like bolted like a bank. And he comes and he's trying to open the front door, and he can't because he realizes that the bolt is on inside. So Bridget hears him, right, and comes downstairs, doesn't look over, thank God, probably, right? Comes downstairs. She's trying to help. He's banging on the goddamn door. Bridget's just trying to help. And Bridget hears somebody laughing at her. And it's obviously Lizzie is standing on the steps laughing at her. And Bridget said that made her feel very odd. Now, what was she laughing at, though? Was she laughing at her work over here? Was she laughing? If she did it, I'm saying if Lizzie did it, did she look over at her little handiwork? I don't know. I don't think so. So Andrew is finally let in. He's very flustered now. He doesn't feel well. It is 80, high 80s outside. And he comes in and he takes a rest in the sitting room. Y'all seen the photograph. I don't have to explain the photograph to you, do I? No, I don't. So let's try to find that. Let's try to find that. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, thank you. This is the actual blanket that was on the bed when Abby was murdered. And this is how little blood there is in there. These are 3 little spots. If I'm lying if I tell you I know exactly, but they were all on, if you see, go to them, they were all on the right side of the bed near the floor. All of them. No, I take it back. A couple were on top. That's the blood. 1, 2, what, 3? 3 spots. That's one of them. That is one. Oh, nope, that's Abby again. Sorry. All right. And I'll tell you this. What are you doing up there? All right, here's what was on the bed. And it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots on it? This was on top of that bed. And let me tell you, you've seen the photos, how close her head is to that bed. It's very close to it. And let me see if I can get the third one. There you go. That's all the drops. That's it. Abby is absolutely, I'm not going to say butchered, but I mean, honestly, it is. Beside a solid white blanket, and we get under 20 droplets at different places in that bag. So then we have to think, don't we? Does the person who did it are they covered in blood? They have to be, right? They have to be. There's no way they're not. Where did all the blood go? I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't blood on the floor and all that, but you think about it being flailed all over, and it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. Well, Liza, that in the 1975 version of Lizzie Borden, that little film, they insinuated that Lizzie was naked. She took her clothes off before she went to do this so that nothing would be on her. Do you think that whatever the murder weapon was, you know what? It was absolutely a hatchet. It was absolutely a hatchet. It just wasn't a hatchet that Quinn, here's the thing. If you look at this, there's no way you could think that Lizzie, I see why they've been, because it was 12 men on that jury. I can see the different reasons why they didn't find her guilty. I can see it. She won 19 blows. That's a lot. All right, that's a lot. And for her not to even be winded or whatever, and where are you washing off? They didn't have running water. So it wasn't like, you had an abundance of water to do it. They had water, just wasn't running. 19 blows is a lot of blows. And if you sit there and you try, do 19 seconds, and you're not even getting any resistance, it's a long time. It's a lot. Lizzie was 5'4", and they didn't give me a weight. They gave me 5'4". I know that Abby, the stepmother, was about 200 pounds. They called her fleshy. I like that. I'm not fat, I'm fleshy. But they didn't give me a weight. But I mean, she looks healthy to me, Oh, I know, Lumpy, you're getting ahead of yourself. Getting ahead of yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's actually there's a whole lot. This day, to me, wherever it was, Quinn, she had a plenty of time to hide it. If it was in that house, she had plenty of time to hide it. And I can tell you, these were men cops, obviously, and they went. Well, let's get him murdered first. Let's murder him first. So, all of a sudden, Lizzie walks into the sitting room and finds her father minus a face. Well, minus half his face. And she yells for Maggie, which is really Bridget. And Bridget comes running, right? She knows something's wrong. And Bridget runs in. I don't know that she saw all of it, but she probably did. And let me tell you something. Bridget left, right? She left Massachusetts. I don't even know where she was after the trial. She moved out to the Midwest and never spoke of it. One time she thought she was going to die, and she called her friend to talk to her about this and started feeling better and just didn't. You can't make that shit up. Anyway, so she's yelling. So Lizzie says, Bridget, run across the street and get Dr. Bowen. That's their family doctor. She runs across the street, right? And the doctor's off on a house call. So she comes back. Now, let me tell you this. There were several doctors on that street that lived on that street, but they weren't 100% white pure. So she didn't want them. She just wanted Dr. Bowen. Not that these people could be saved anyway, don't get me wrong. But so anyway, Bridget comes back and said he's got a house call. And she said, all right, go up the street, please, and get my friend Alice Russell. And so she goes up there and gets Alice Russell. Alice Russell's walking back. All right, so there was a woman named Miss Churchill who lived down the street. She was walking with her groceries, and she could see, Bridget running around like something's wrong. She knew something was wrong. She looked over in the back, and she saw Lizzie just kind of staring off into space. And she walks over to Lizzie and goes, Lizzie, is everything okay? And Lizzie goes, oh, hello, Miss Churchill. Do come in. Someone's just murdered father. Just like that. Hello, Miss Churchill. Do come in. Someone's just murdered father. And she was like, what? What? I'm pretty sure she went in and looked too. So Russell comes back. Alice Russell comes back. Bridget comes back. We've got Churchill there now. And they start asking, where's Abby? Where's Abby? And Bridget said, Lizzie said that somebody came to the door and asked for her because she was sick. Yo, Midnight Baker, I can't make this up. Yeah, that calm. And she stayed that calm too. Amazing women, those two Bordens are. So they start wondering where the hell is Abby? And Lizzie said, you know what? I think I heard her come in the house. AKB investigates. He said, I think I heard her come in the house. Bridget, will you go look upstairs? I think I really did hear her come in. And Bridget was like, I am not going upstairs. No, ma'am, no. And they kept wanting to go out and find her. And at this point, Lizzie's got to have her found. Do you know what I'm saying? She's got to have her found. So Miss Churchill and Bridget decide to go and look. And they go up those steps that I showed you. I can put it back. It'll take me 30 minutes, but I can do it. And they look through the little spindles and they find fuck. I wish y'all could see how little these things are. They look through and they see her right there. That's where they first see her. So now we've got an issue here. We better call the police. So that particular day, August 4th, 1892, was, guess what? Y'all ain't gonna believe it. It was the police's annual picnic. Oh, thank you, London, right? It is the police department's annual picnic. Ain't a narrow one. There was 2 cops in the whole damn town of Fall River. 2 cops. And so there's one cop that says, listen, go up there and see what the hell they're squawking about, you know. And so the second cop runs up there. Oh, we got a dead person. He runs back down to the police station and says, it's a dead person. Yeah, face gone. And he said, go back up and ask. So he had to run back up. Mind you, now we have people gathering in the street. Uh-oh. So the cop, it's too many people. He's got to maintain the crime area, right? But he's also got to go running back down. Because dude down here is like, I'm not coming up there. No. Did you say his whole face is gone? No, I ain't doing it. So starts to get good, right? So this guy pulls a dude off the street and said, listen, it is your job to make sure none of these people get in this house. Do you understand? And that man said, yes, I do. Okay. Thank you. And he runs back down. I mean, it's like, the worst case of telephone ever. Now, so we have 2 dead people in the house now. Mr. Borden has been hit 11 times, 11 to 12 times in the side of his head and face. I saw let me tell y'all, I saw the autopsy photos. I had never seen them before. I did not know they existed. They do. And it is, Katie, you said Lizzie and that's funny. He was hit 11 to 12 times in the face with the same hatchet / axe that Abby was killed with. However, a lot of people think that hatchet was found downstairs with the no handle. That wasn't it. But we'll get to that because that's interesting too. So all of a sudden in the backyard, John Morse, 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 shows up. And there's his, he's hanging out in the backyard. And the cops come to talk to him. And he's like, I wasn't here. I was gone. I've been spending the night here, but I was gone and I haven't he told the cop everything about his trip back. The number on the conductor's hat, he remembered that. Is Aunt Kathy's daughter. Oh, cool. I know this was, like I said, this is a good one. And it got bigger, I always thought it was big, but it got much bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I'm trying to make sure. So I see everything. I made all these things. So, all right. And then John Morris says, I don't, I didn't even know there was anybody out front. Because let me show you that. Let me show you the back. But here's the problem. The dude that the cop said, hey, can you stand in and not let anybody in? He watched John Morse elbow his way through the crowd in the front. He elbowed his way to the front of that crowd. And then somehow, some way, he got to the backyard and was eating pears Pears are going to play a big part in this. Apparently, the Bordens had the best effing pear tree ever. So he's back there eating pears and goes, I didn't even know there was anything. What's going on? What's happening? I was back here just eating pears. Here's the thing, though. We know he wasn't there during the murder. There would be no reason for him to murder Andrew Borden. He was not going to get anything from him. So even though he's weird and he can remember conductors' numbers on their hats and exactly who's the name of who he saw in a town he didn't live in, is weird to me. But I mean, it's ironclad. You can't. All right, so the cops come to talk to Lizzie, and Lizzie is just sitting here. They've wired Emma, and funny thing is, Emma didn't get the first 3 trains back to Fall River. She said, I don't want to go on that one. No, I don't want to go on that one. All right, if that's the last one, oh fuck, I guess I'll go on that one. So yeah, she was in no hurry to get back. But they asked Lizzie, what were you doing when your father was murdered? Oh, well, I was in the barn in the back. And I haven't been fishing for 5 years, but I was looking for some iron to make sinkers with because I got a big fishing trip coming up. So I was out there doing that. And then a little bit later, you could ask her again, what were you doing again? Oh, yeah. I was in the barn eating pears. How many hours after? All right, so Andrew was murdered at 11 o'clock, around 11 o'clock. Abby was murdered around 9:30. So it was an hour and a half between the 2 murders. So if we would have to suspect that the murderer was in a rage when he came in to kill Abby, and then hid in the house for an hour and a half, undetected, and still pissed off. So every door was locked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could no longer go through Lizzie's door and go all the way and make it all the way back to the back stairs. The parents' door was locked. Abby had a dressing room that was locked. So yeah, no. So but they did have a clothes closet. Let me show you that. In the front here. That's why I put these floor plans everywhere. All right. So I hope y'all can see this. There is a oh no, wait a minute. That's on all right. So see here on the bottom floor, the second floor. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Second floor. You come up those steps and you go over, and there's the room that's the guest room, right? And then you have Lizzie's room. There's a clothes closet right at the top of those steps in that landing, if y'all can see it. So technically somebody could have hidden in there. Now, you're in a home that doesn't have any air conditioning, and I know we're used to it now. They weren't. So, I mean, I get that it's different. But you're going to sit in that closet for an hour and a half, hoping you get the perfect chance, all right, to get Andrew, because you really need to get Andrew, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But Andrew, Abby needed to be taken care of before Andrew. And I'll tell you why right now. All right, so if this will thing was true, and even if it wasn't true, if Andrew was killed first in the home, and then Abby was killed second, her will is the one. Whatever she got from Andrew would go to her, and it would go to the people that she left, things to. She couldn't be killed first. I mean, she couldn't be killed second. She had to be killed first. And they're thinking about this now. She cannot be killed first because if he did change it, they're fucked. Because it would be he got killed at 9:30 and she got killed at 11. Switch it. That hour and a half, everything would have transferred over to her. And then when she died, it would go to her people, her family. That's the way it was back then. So, well, if you think about it, London Girl, they had these huge dresses, right? These huge bustly dresses and whatnot. And none of these homes were really built with closets. I mean, it's kind of like, they don't have closets. So I guess it's just easier for everybody to put their huge stuff over there. I bet it was stifling. So we have to believe that whoever killed Abby, and if it's the same person who killed Andrew, they would have somehow had to have been in that house. So the only two people in that house that weren't dead, Abby, no, sorry, not Abby, Bridget, Mama, Bridget and Lizzie. Now, Bridget gets nothing out of killing these people. She gets nothing. So the only one in the house that gains anything is Lizzie Borden. So the police ask her, where were you? I was getting lures. I was getting sinkers. One, she told I was getting something. She was getting something in there to fix a screen. That was another one. Third one was she was up in the loft, and hey, Rain Girl, she was up in the loft eating pears of that barn. So the cops go out there and they look. They say the barn is absolutely stifling hot. It's about 900 degrees up there. And when they went up to the top, there were no footprints in the dust. None. No footprints. Nobody had been up there. Nobody in a dress that goes flouncing around, Nope. So that's a lie. Yeah. So they said, well, just, go through it again. Exactly what happened when he got home. She said, well, he had trouble getting in and he didn't feel well. And so I took his coat and I folded it up into a little pillow and I took his boots off of him so he could rest. And they said, oh, you did? You probably, yeah. And she said, yes, that's exactly what happened. I took his boots off and I did his coat. All right, let's just see. Hold on. I cannot see these things. Oh, well, there he was in better days. People. All right. Here he is. It's blurred out. What is on his feet? Hey, Vicky. Do y'all see what's on his feet? No, Quinn, no. They're boots. Those are the boots that she swore she helped him take off so he could rest. Yeah. Boots. Now, people who knew him said he would absolutely never in his life folded up a coat like that and put it under his head. It would never happen. He was so fastidious about his, clothing that So people began to wonder, did she have that coat on? Rapper, please don't. So a lot of people believe that she had that coat on. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I mean, that they'd have to have unfolded the coat, if it was blood all over it, I guess. But, and again, he was done. So if you look behind him right there, there's a white door. That's the angle that they came in. They're right-handed, and they came in there. Neither he nor Abby had any defensive wounds on them at all. So they either never saw it coming, or they didn't think it was gonna, they knew who was coming, and they didn't think they'd do it. Thank you, Quinn. I'm done with a lot of stuff, but none of stuff I'm not. So the police go up into Abby's bedroom, and they get some of those underskirts, and there's a couple of spots of blood on them. And back then, a euphemism for having any kind of menstrual blood were flea bites. They were flea bites, and they were small little. It could have been anything. So they go down into the cellar, and when they go down into the cellar, there is a whole pail of bloody rags, and they ask her about it, and they're embarrassed. She's embarrassed, and I think she's through the doctor, because Dr. Bowen showed up. Through that, it was menstrual. Now, I don't think at the time they had any way to tell the difference. I might be wrong. I know that the only thing they can really tell the difference between is animal blood and human blood. I know that one. But I don't know if thank you. I don't know if it was, if they could tell regular blood from menstrual blood, because it is different. So that, they weren't going to go any further into that pail of, here's the funny thing though, when they were talking to Bridget, and they asked Bridget about the pail down there, she said, "What pail?" And they said, "The Miss Borden is menstruating." And she said, "There's no pail down there." So she had never seen the pail down there. I mean, not seen it, this course of stuff. She didn't see it because it won't there. Because Lizzie probably used that stuff to clean herself, I guess, but I don't know. Because again, you have to think with Mr. Borden here. The doctor got there so quickly that his wounds were still oozing. I know that's disgusting. I probably should have done a trigger warning. But it had just happened. So that his blood was still oozing. But Lizzie wasn't covered in blood, and she wasn't out of breath, and she wasn't even upset. I told you, "Hello, Mrs. Churchill. Please do come in. Father's just been murdered." That's her. But I guess you can't arrest somebody for having a bad personality. So the doctors started showing up, and I'll do a little trigger warning. This is gross. I'm not showing anything. But the coroner kind of dude, came into the home and performed the first autopsies on the dining room table. Yeah. And because there had been talk of poison, he took out their stomachs and sealed the whatever and had those sent away to see if they had actually been poisoned. They actually, Andrew and Abby, spent the night on the dining room table. Guess who also spent the night? Emma, who had come home, John Morse, Uncle John, weird-ass Uncle John, and Lizzie. They stayed in the house that night. Outside of that house, thousands of people were walking around trying to get a shot. These people had no electricity. And it has been passed down through 45 generations that somebody or many people saw a oil lamp come down those steps, or saw it, through the walls, and it went over to the dining room and stood there for a long, long time. And then whoever it was, extinguished the light and I guess went back upstairs. That has been a story that you everywhere you look, you're going to see that story. Well, they took out 4. All right, so they took out 3 axes from the basement. And then they went over and they looked in this, like, behind this box, and they went and looked. And there was an axe, handle gone. I don't even know if I put that up here. Handle gone. And again, here's the barn. I'll tell you about that in a minute. All right, so they found 3 axes, hatchets, whatever you want to call them. Then they looked over in this corner of the basement, and there was a box. And they looked in the box. In the box, there was an axe, a hatchet, with a fresh cut, right? Fresh cut. It had been put in there. It had been rubbed with ash to make it look old and dirty. Well, they could tell it wasn't. So they took it. It also had blood on it and had hair on it. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Yes, it did. The little short one had blood and hair. What? So they take that little axe and they go back to the lab and they get the microscopes out and they quickly realize that it's cow blood on that hatchet and it's cow hair on that thing. Yeah, it was freshly cut. It was like it's a even break. It's not like it's jagged, like somebody accidentally broke it. No. This was like cut, whatever. I don't know how she got it. I don't know how the girl did it. But that wasn't. It didn't even matter because that wasn't even the weapon. We don't have a weapon, people. We've never had a weapon. So one thing that Lizzie did say was that when she was up here in the top of the barn, up in the loft of the barn, eating her pears, she heard her father moan. That's when she came inside. That's why it might have been they got some beef from somebody. God knows I wouldn't want it. How can I leave my own? How can I leave my own? I don't know. Nobody know where the cow is. The cow's dead too. Cow's dead too. So if you looked, and let me go back and find the so she's over here in the loft, right? Her father's in that sitting room, which is that's wrong. This is the yard. That's the yard. The sitting room is on the other side of the house, all the way over. There's no way she heard her father moan. One, because his first wound killed him, just like Abby. That they didn't need to do any more than that. They got both of them first whack. So he never moaned. Sorry, but he never did. And this is bless her heart. This is Bridget's room. This is up in the damn attic. And that shit. Oh my god. Anyway, so hold on, I want to show you that room. And there's no way she did not. Well, one, she wasn't up there. We know that. But she didn't hear him moan. No, not at all. No, thank you, honey. So the police come. All right. This is Abby's skull. I know that poor damn cow. Went after it with the damn hatchet. This is Abby's skull. All the damage is okay. So her face is in the front. I assumed that all of her wounds were in the very back of her head, like perpendicular, right down here. They weren't. They weren't, because before they did the autopsy, they shaved the back of her head. I know a cow did it. They shaved the back of her head before they did the well, let me just go and tell you about these autopsies. All right, so they left him on the table, that night. Next day, funeral home came and got him. did some more, some more of they were still doing autopsies a week after they were murdered, a week. So I can't imagine. And they in there, they even like said they were beginning to decay. Avi, I feel like common sense should tell people if there's a true. Well, I don't know. I kind of skip around, Katie. So sometimes I miss it. I forget to do it. Yeah. So the cops come by, or the mayor comes by, and Lizzie asked the mayor, "Am I a suspect?" And he said, "Why, yes, you are. Yes, you are." And she did her hands. She did her hands like this, like to take her away. He said, "Don't do that. Stop doing that. I'm not taking you anywhere right now." Yeah, Snuggle. Well, this is 19 smacks. So you ask, okay, well, how do we know that hatchet wasn't it? Well, they made molds of all the ones they found. They found 4, and they went and tried to put them in. Her head obviously was not the best one, but I guess, and none of them fit. So that, like I said, that murder weapon has never been found. We don't know where it is. There are societies, even to this day. There's the Lizzie Borden Society. There's the Andrew Borden Society. There is the Bridget. I don't know if there's a Bridget Society. I'll start the Bridget Society, where they will fight you if you say Lizzie Borden killed, her parents, and then the other ones will kill you if you say she didn't. I mean, these people fight to this day. I did not realize that. There's some weird people in this world that are still fighting over this. They are fighting. And I can understand it would the police and everyone else and the whole public is like, a woman couldn't do this. Oh no, a woman doesn't have strength. Well, they've obviously never been around a pissed off woman. And I don't mean that's like we chop people up, but I do mean to say that, you can move hell and high water when you're mad. So let me see. Hold on. I'm making sure I didn't lose anything. Murder weapon, still don't have it. Lizzie. Oh, yeah, Lizzie changed clothes. Lizzie, at some point after her father's death, changed her clothes. And when they asked why, I don't know, I can't remember her. I don't think she even really gave them an answer. And I don't think they went to look for what she took off, but that they had already, I think, examined it while on her, not invasively, and found that there was no blood. Again, if y'all can tell me how she did it with no blood, this is another. This is a mystery in that. How did she do it? How did she do it? We know she was the only one in the house. Did she have an accomplice? I don't know. Emma wasn't there. Emma, the quiet, plain Jane, oatmeal looking, sister, wasn't there. I would love to. I'm wondering what Bridget would have told the person, the friend of hers, when she thought she was going to die when she was older. I'd love to know what she was going to tell her about. Another thing that Andrew did to his daughter. Let's stop and let's go there. In their barn, a bunch of pigeons had roosted, right? And Abby, oh shit, no, Lizzie liked to she took care of them. She fed them, she cleaned everything, and she really loved those pigeons. Well, she came home, from wherever one time, and her father had gone into the barn and killed every one of them with a hatchet. And he didn't do it to her. He did it because he was scared that the kids down the, were trying to hunt him and whatever. So he just figured he'd whack them. All right, what is it, Quinn? What is it? So that was another thing. And now they are killed with a hatchet. And he had killed all the birds. So she hasn't been back in that barn since those birds had been, up in that loft since. And that's terrible. They were her little pets, I guess. And I'm sure she was very angry about it. But again, what are you going to do? You are a spinster, as they say. You have no prospects. None at all. None at all. Your sister's 41. Nobody, for some reason, everybody said that Lizzie was ugly. I don't think she was ugly. She looked like she had really beautiful, like, light eyes. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think she was ugly. That she was. I've been to Walmart, honey. I've been to Walmart. I've seen what some women can get. Yeah. Maybe they needed a Walmart. Her friend Alice saw her cutting up the dress. Yes, that's covered. Yes, the dress. The paint dress. Oh. No, I'm telling you, this thing unfolded forever. Unfolded forever. But like I said, anyway, I don't think she's ugly. I don't think she's ugly. And like I have been to Walmart. I've seen what can happen out there in the streets. She did have a nasty father. He was not liked. He was not people didn't go, oh, look, here comes Andrew Borden. Andrew! Come on, boo. We done. No, people didn't like him. He was an asshole. I think she probably had a guy. Maybe Quinn, but again, her and Emma's personality. Lizzie had probably a little bit bolder personality than Emma, and Emma had none. But they were both brats. All right, I'm sorry. When you have when she came home from Europe, and she was mad because she had to start peeing in a bucket, in the whatever again. Do something, bitch. Do something about it. Go find you a man. Because there was a part of town you had the river, right? This was a textile town, and so it was booming. It was booming, and they had you had different ethnicities coming, Portuguese, and so you had the people down on the river, like down in town, and then you had the hill. The hill was up there, and that's where all the rich people lived, and they looked down on all the stuff that was down. That's where Lizzie wanted to go. I don't know about Emma. I don't know. Nobody knows anything about Emma. Seriously forgot. Nobody knows anything about Emma. So if you was going to run, if you want to be on the hill, you better snatch your girdle up and start swaying up there and get you one. She didn't even do that. She was a 31-year-old spinster, which nowadays that 31 is nothing. We now know 31 is actually, you're not a spinster. You're smart. But she had to depend on her father. And can you imagine? I am sorry, but Abby, you have raised these little ratchet kids up. Right, and then they get mad at you when they don't want to call you mother anymore. They will call you Miss Borden because that's what they called you, Miss Borden. And they never ate with you, and you Abby would go and dust stuff and work around the house. Fucking Lizzie and Emma would stroll down, for breakfast at the crack of 9, which Bridget had to go redo, and then would just sit around all day. Waiting to be fed, I guess. I don't really know what they did all day. They had about a $200 a year allowance, which was a lot of money. They did not want for any dresses or whatever. They had them all. So they were, he didn't really spoil them a lot, but he gave them enough money where he didn't have to talk to them if he didn't want to. Here, $200 a year, have it. And that's a lot. Oh, I didn't even talk about the prussic acid. The day before the murders, Lizzie went into a drugstore She said, I need some prussic acid because I have moths or something in my seal skin cape. And the guy working said, I can't sell you that. That's a poison. I can't sell you that without a prescription. And she said, yes, you can. I've got it here before. And he said, well, you ain't get it from me. And I'm not doing it. So she started to get loud. And he really didn't give a shit how loud she got. All right. Didn't care. Now he shows back up at the trial. I did not realize it was already 10:35, but I'm going to roll through this. I'll speed it up. I'll stop the acting. And I think there was the sisters. No. They said Lizzie had about 2 beaux in her life, but it never worked out. And if you're dealing with a little brat, but I'm saying with Abby, Abby is working her ass off. Her and Andrew were married 27 years. And I always wondered, was this a marriage of convenience? He needed someone to raise his daughters. She needed, or if they really genuinely had an affection for each other. I hope that they did have affection. I mean, obviously. But I have to wonder that. And I have to wonder when a kid's growing up and they're calling you mother and you've got to be affectionate with them. I mean, I would think. And for that just to stop. If you're mad at your daddy, call him Mr. Borden. I ain't done shit. He's the one that he gave my sister this house. Yes. But no. So anyway, she left and couldn't get the acid. And then the next day they were hacked to death. And she said, in fact, I think she even said, I've never seen that person in my life. I would never go into that drugstore. And they were like, oh, all the people that worked there was like, oh, yes, she was. We all saw. Yeah, because she was acting an idiot. Hold on, I gotta make sure I didn't get it. I know I'm gonna forget something, and it's gonna bug the shit out of me. Murder, no splatter. Now the blood soaked through the floor, though. I did on both of the murders. I think it soaked through the floor into the thing. I think. All right. Early on, so getting back to those, to the anti-Semitism and whatnot that was going on in that town as well, because the police said, it was probably one of those foreign guys, those new foreign guys. That's who did it. Wasn't this nice lady that steals from the whole effing downtown? And by the way, her daddy ain't paying it for no money. He did. It wasn't her. It was all these new foreigners. Ugh. That saved her for about a day. So let's see. They go through the trailer. They go through the funerals, and what? They go through the funerals. The day after the funeral, 3 days after 4 days after the murders themselves, and they kept burying them and digging them up, burying and digging them up. So that is when, out of a lower cupboard in the kitchen of their home, Lizzie pulls out a big old dress, and she walks over to the stove, and she stuffs it into the stove. And Alice Russell was like, what the hell are you doing? And she said, oh, it had paint on it. So we have a tradition around here where we burn all of our clothes that, get dirty or whatever. And Bridget and Alice both said, that's the dumbest thing you just did right there. That was stupid. And Lizzie goes, well, why didn't you stop me? Because we like to watch you dig your grave. So then Emma stood up, right, and got, all Punky Brewster. We did. Here's the thing. They didn't have a little thing like that. Andrew Borden made them rip up their old clothes to use as rags. He did not. When I tell you this man, he made them rip up their old clothes and use them as rags. They didn't burn shit. They won't burn in nothing. All right. No. So now we have Emma lying for Lizzie. Why? Why? Don't know. I still don't know. Maybe she thinks she's helping her. I don't know. All right, let's see. I'm just making a list. I gotta make sure. I don't want to lose. I don't want to forget that. All right, so we're gonna go. Let's skip on over to the trial. We about on the 11th. I think it was the 11th of August. Um, there was a coroner's inquest, and that was not on the 11th. There was a coroner's inquest, and during that coroner's inquest, it's kind of like you know, they're running around, they're showing you every bit of evidence that they have. I know. um, and you know, it's so the judge and the no, they weren't, Liza. I'm saying that there were so many different ethnicities and different, you know, people moving into Fall River that uh, it was a real, you know, oh, when the cops say, yeah, one of those foreigners did it, one of those foreigners killed these two. Why? But that's just, you know, so all right, at the coroner's inquest, the judge said, you know what? Listen, I think she's guilty. Did you find anything about Andrews? I did, and I did. I know that it was found out later that he wasn't, but I don't know if it was found out later that he wasn't in their lifespan. I don't know, but yeah, Andrew had an illegitimate son that was kind of bad tempered. But I don't think he was around. And I think they later found out that he wasn't the father, but I don't know how back then they could have done it. They didn't have the DNA. So, all right, the governor, the inquest, the judge said, I think she did it. Right. And so he said, let's send this on over to the grand jury. Let's send this on over to the grand jury and see what they think. So and it's the same thing as a trial, basically. If you've ever been to a grand jury, I was actually pulled to go. I had to go sit in the pool, but so you get to the witnesses come in. So Bridget came in, Alice came in. Now Alice did not share in the inquest trial burden of the burden of the dress, but during the grand jury, she had to come to Jesus' mom and said, listen, all right, I didn't say this before, but one, she came to my house the night before and said she had a really bad feeling that he was going to be killed and that he had enemies. And then the next day, they're dead. And then a couple days after that, I watched her pull the dress out, clean out from under that cabinet, and put it right in the oven and burn it because she said it had paint on it. So she came clean during the grand jury, right? She didn't do it in the coroner's inquest. So then they go and, you know, Lizzie's not a part of this anymore. And they decide to indict her. So on the 11th of August, she was arrested. And they took her to Taunton, Massachusetts, because they didn't have any female prisons or anywhere for a female in a jail in the Fall River area. So they had to take her all the way to there. And it wasn't all the way, but it was, you know, about 8 or 9 miles, which to us doesn't sound like much, but when you're like, you know, whatever, riding a horse, I don't know. So whatever it is. All right, so so many things were done wrong. So let's talk about they in Fall River back then they had 3 judges that would preside over a hearing. 3 different judges. So you had 3 judges sitting up there. And so let's talk about the prosecution. The prosecution was very reluctant to try her for murder. The district attorney, Mr. Pillsbury, said, oh, I ain't doing it. No, I'm giving it to you, buddy. And he gave it to his buddy, Hosea Knowlton. And William Moody came along later, who would later, can I just say, later became a Supreme Court judge. Yeah. So they were the two that were going to be trying her. Now, her lawyers was the ex-governor of Massachusetts, George Robinson, and Andrew Jeggington. She paid the ex-governor $25,000. $25,000 to be her lawyer. And it's $25,000 that she had because her and Emma were rolling into money. Right when this happened, they offered a $5,000 reward for anybody who could come forward and say who killed their father and his wife. That's the way they did it. It was money well spent. So we start this trial, and I'm not going to get into all of it. It's a lot, I mean, it's what Bridget came in and said, and what it wasn't looking good. All right, it wasn't looking good for Lizzie, but her attorneys were absolutely ripping and roaring through these witnesses and getting them all confused, and that's what Hosea had done to her. He would talk to her and ask her a question 3 different ways, right? You think about this now. He would go and he would say, where were you when your father was murdered? Oh, I was in the, looking for sinkers. And then he would come around and he'll, ask it another way a little bit later, and she would give another answer. He was able to do that with her a lot. She obviously did not take the stand. So the guy came and said, listen, here's the stomach contents. There was no poison in them. And they said, oh, thank you very much. Great. Appreciate it. Then they had the doctor come on the corner. I probably shouldn't laugh at this, but it's fucking funny. He comes in carrying a bag. Trigger warning. He came in carrying a bag. And he set the bag down. And Lizzie is sitting there, right? I mean, she's, and he pulls out 2 skulls. 2 skulls. And I think her lawyer said, are they? He said, yeah, they're their skulls. And he had them in his hands like this. And here goes, Lizzie goes down. She goes down for the count. She is fainted. She is absolutely fainted. She's not. So this trial went on the next year. So it was 1893 when this, and it was June. I want to say it was June. So it only lasted 3 weeks. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, Liz. It's a lot. And but look, so they bring the guy. They were going to bring the guy. Excuse me. They were going to bring the guy up, the clerk that wasn't going to sell the acid. And her lawyer said, well, wait a minute, you don't have to even bring him up because they weren't poisoned. So why do you even have to bring him up? And the judges were like, well, you got a point. So the jury of 12 men never heard that she tried to go and buy acid, poison the day before. They didn't even get to hear none of that because there was no poison in their stomach, so they didn't hear it. So right after this murders happened, Dr. Bowen was treating Lizzie with morphine. He would give her shots of morphine quite often. So they were going to bring up her statements to the police, right? And her lawyer stood up and said, number one, she never had a lawyer with her when she talked to the police. And number two, she was under the influence of morphine, which can cloud your judgment and make everything fuzzy. And you know what? The judges said, nah, they got a point. They got a point. So there went that. whole deal. Her every statement she ever made gone because she didn't have a lawyer. Now, there was no why I can't remember it. What is it? Oh, come on. It said you have to have a lawyer. I cannot think of it right now. Oh my God. Oh, come on, y'all help me. Miranda. All right, there was no Miranda. Thank you. If y'all type it there, thank you. There was no Miranda yet in the United States, but there was the Constitution of America. And that's where it is. It's in there. That she could have had a lawyer there. She should have had a lawyer there, and she didn't. So like I said, all that evidence, that's gone. Every time she lied is gone. They can't use it. The defense ends up doing about 2 days worth of work. I think they ran it. I don't even know who they brought up. I didn't even look at it. And so the jury was given the case. They went back and they were done 90 minutes later. And it really didn't take, it took them only about a half an hour, but they said they stood back there a little while because, it kind of looked weird. So 90 minutes later, they come in, they give their, decision, not guilty. And there goes Miss Liza. She gone. Out the courtroom, waving to everybody. Hello. So, technically, this is still an unsolved case. But funny enough, the police have never, ever, ever looked at this case. They know who did it. So there was no need. It's still unsolved. Funny fact, about 2 months after the trial, Emma and Lizzie bought a house. Do y'all want to guess where it is? Let me see. Let me get down here. Oh, wait a minute. There's Dad. That is Dad's actual thing there. That is, look at this. She effed him up. That's actually her. That is Lizzie. Way back there, she was a great lover. Yep, on the hill. We'll bring the house up. She was actually, when she died. All right. This is a new shot of her face. I've only ever seen it from the side. And if this is real, which I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's a whole new, but she's not ugly. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. If you're listening, Lizzie, you're not ugly. Emma ugly. Emma's ugly, yeah, but you're not. And I'm sorry, Emma. Does that make you upset? This is her new home, Maplecroft. I know, and I hope. Can y'all see this? No, they're not ugly. This had a 17-room little palace up on the hill that she named Maplecroft, and she had it etched into the top step as you come into the door. I got some more photographs. It's there it is from the side. It's pretty big. The only problem is, here's what she would do. Here's what she wanted to be called Lizbeth. She wanted to change her name. No longer was she Lizzie. She was Lizbeth A. Borden. I don't know what she thought that was going to do, but it didn't do much. She was ostracized. She quit going. I just put that up there together because, and you can look up Maplecroft on here. It is a absolutely stunningly beautiful. Oh, I love that picture. That's a great picture right there. What did I do with the Maplecroft? Oh, sorry, that's that's not it. She stayed there. Let me get that off. Let me put it back on there. I bloated up the photographs of her house, but I don't know what to do. I'm not very good at this. She did not leave, and Emma did not leave. They lived, for some reason, they moved in together. They've always been together. Now, it's been said, and I'll go on and say it because I know people are waiting to hear it. There were absolutely rumors, and to this day, that Lizzie and Andrew, her father, had a sexual relationship. I cannot tell you if that is true. I do not know. I hope not. It's also been said that Lizzie and Emma had a relationship. I don't know if that's true. I hope not. I did wonder though if it would have kind of made sense if Abby maybe walked in and called him and didn't do anything. That would make her mad enough, to not even call her mother, because if you're not going to protect me, I don't know. I'm not saying that's true. I do not know if it is true. But Lizzie, or Lizbeth, as she likes to be called, became a great lover of the arts. And she would go to Boston, and she would even go to New York to see plays. And I love you, Mitten Mama. I love you. She met this star, Nance O'Neill. Now, back in these days, and this was the same way in Hollywood, an actor of any sort, an actor, a traveling actor, any kind of actor, was kind of looked down on, right? You were just trash. You were trash. Sorry, you were trash. And Lizzie kind of found a new life. She found a tribe, and she found Nance O'Neill. And Nance O'Neill was a very beautiful woman, very talented woman. I went back and looked at her, body of work. She was good. So Lizzie decided she was going to have a big old party for the cast and company of whatever play Nance O'Neill was in that particular month, year, whatever. And she did. And Emma got so upset about it that she left Maplecroft, and she never spoke to Lizzie again. She went to live with friends up somewhere, and eventually she moved to New Hampshire. And they never spoke. Oh, sour girl. They never spoke again, ever. Now, Nance O'Neill stayed with Lizzie for about 2 years. So there was questions on whether they were, lovers. I, again, don't know. I have no idea. She got caught. She did get caught again with some theft. She stole 2 paintings that were worth less than $100. There was a charge. She caught a charge. She caught a charge. So Lizzie ended up with this big, huge house. That's all she wanted, right? That's all she wanted. She was in a town that hated her. They wouldn't speak to her at all. She couldn't go to church anymore. There was a Borden row of in the local church, and she would go to church and sit in it, and there would be nobody near it. Nobody near it. That's what church folks did. So she didn't go to church anymore. She really liked it. She was she was a Sunday school teacher and all that stuff. And a lot of the reason why these jurors didn't want to convict her too much, and why these prosecutors didn't, is because she was a member of a pretty prominent church and some very prominent women's organizations, and they were coming down on the attorneys. I love you. As long as Walter's well rested, I love you, so girl. So it became like a rite of passage. The children in the up on the hill had to go into her yard and sing the song. They had to sing the song. And they would yell at her and stuff like that. So she had the home that she always wanted. And she had nothing else. And I imagine that, it was, I think, was it 7 bedrooms? I can't remember. 17 rooms. That's all she had. When Lizzie was 67, she got pneumonia. She got really sick, and she passed away. June. I can't remember. I can't remember. She died when she was 67. She died. Oddly enough, in New Hampshire, Emma took a really bad fall in a nursing home, and she died 9 days later. And so they are buried beside each other and with Andrew and Abby. Now, ain't that a kick in the ass? Ain't that? You did all that work and you're stuck with them still. But yeah, they died 9 days apart, 11 days apart, something like that. The 2 sisters, and now they're buried side by side with the parents. I mean, watch what you wish for. It's like my book, Answered Prayers, and was more tears have been shed over answered prayers than unanswered prayers. I believe that's true. That's all she wanted. All right, so funny. I don't know when Emma left, if Emma got her money, because Emma put down half the money on Maplecroft. I don't know. That's nowhere to be seen. What she did with it, what I don't know what Emma did with her money, because nobody can tell you anything about Emma. She's just like Lizzie left her money to animal places. A lot of money to animal rescues in New York and Boston and everywhere. She left a ton of money to animals because she really loved animals. So did she kill her parents? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me because how can you hit somebody like that, like her dad, that many times? You're not out of breath. When you call for Bridget or Maggie, you're not out of breath. You're not bloody. His blood is still oozing. All right, this is new. Quinn said maybe she had somebody in there. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think she left any to the church. They kind of screwed her over. She might have, though. She did love those pigeons. She did. This is like it's so sad, but it's a life lesson, man. Just watch what you wish for, because you might get it, and it ain't going to be just great, because that's all she wanted was that damn house on the hill. That's all she wanted. And in the end, that's all she got. She didn't have any family, anything, nothing. She had dogs, whatever. And that 7-bedroom, 17-room mansion. And it is beautiful inside. I'm not a real wood kind of girl, but like when you come into the front door, there's obviously a foyer or whatever you call it, and there's a huge fireplace over here to the right, and then across from it, it's a hallway to get back to the kitchen, I guess. There's this beautiful bench where I guess if you just come in, you're taking your stuff off and you're by the fire. She got it. Squirrel, I love you, squirrel. In my opinion, yeah. Did he do it? There's a lot of there's a lot of shadiness going on under here. I'm just saying. Him killing it. Oh, I didn't mean to kill yours. Oh no, I'm sorry, honey. I just didn't want the neighborhood boys to kill him, so I went on and hacked him to death and left them up there for you to find. I didn't know they were yours. Come on now. The arrogance of her and Emma coming down and not eating with the family and making sure you wait. The fuck you think you are? You two, you know, you two spinsters who aren't smart enough to get away from dad, but I guess maybe you were smart enough in the end. You got it, didn't you, girl? You got it. You did. You got it. So, I don't know. What do y'all think? Did she do it? Did she have help? Will we ever know? We'll never know. I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all need to tell me. I need feedback. I need feedback on right now. Oh my God, this lasted so long. Bless your heart, squirrel. I gotta get my folder ready. I do. We got another one to put in the drawer. Let me grab it. I love my desk. I love it. Let me tell you. I just come down here sometimes and hide. You think she did it? I think there's no way she didn't do it. I just keep figuring out how she did it. I can't figure out how she did it. She's the only one that benefited from it. Her and Emma. Were her and Emma in on it? I don't know. They were writing letters back and forth. You know, and Emma had been gone for like 2 weeks. And that weird ass uncle, if she was sexually abused or not. Dude, that's what I thought too, Rain Girl. I thought that too. That, you know, that would make sense to me. You know, I don't know. I have to wonder: was her motive only money, or was that? I know she was an entitled. You know, her and Emma both were entitled, and they got anything they wanted. And no, he didn't. You know, he was so. It's because he never spent a dollar that they had dollars to spend. $25,000 on a damn lawyer in 1893. What? So I don't know. This is, I always think I know. Like when I thought I knew this, I thought, I said, we're just going to show exactly, you know, how dolty the whole, you know, Fall River was. And then I got into it. I started getting into it a little bit more, and I thought, well, wait a minute. How was she not, you know, out of breath? How was she not filled with blood? How was she so calm? Oh, hello, Mrs. Churchill. Do come in. Father's just been murdered. That's fucking hilarious to me. That is going to be my new go-to when I'm standing in the middle of the kitchen and I don't know. I might be the only person that does this. I'll get these little catchphrases, right? And I'll say them all the time in my house, just all the time. Say them, you know, they don't mean anything. Oh, in fact, if y'all have ever seen Philadelphia Story, Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart, and Katharine Hepburn, there's a part of it where Jimmy Stewart is drunk and he's going to see Cary Grant, and Cary Grant's name is C.K. Dexter Haven. C.K. Dexter Haven, that is Cary Grant's name. And so when Jimmy Stewart pulls up, he's going, C.K. Dexter Haven. And I will be in my house and I'll just do that all of a sudden. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. That's probably some form of Tourette's. I don't know. I'm going to switch by now to, hello, Mrs. Churchill. Do come in. Father's just been murdered. This is my new thing. Did she have it? Terry, that's a good question. I don't really know about, I wouldn't trust the psychology. I do too, Lois. I love that movie. I wouldn't, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I know that I felt bad if she didn't do it. I know, don't if she didn't do it, I feel bad at the way her life ended up. If she did do it, I feel bad the way her life ended up. There's no good outcome here. She did not have. She wasted a lot of time. I think she was a pretty woman. I really do. I don't think she was ugly or whatever. Because a lot of people call her that, and I don't see it. I think she looked pretty. So it's sad. It's sad. It didn't work out. But if you did it, it wasn't supposed to work out. If you did that at Lizzie, I don't know. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's down there. I don't know. Don't haunt me tonight. I'm being nice to you. You're pretty lady. You're a very pretty lady. So yeah, she died at 67. So, and then to have your sister in another state who was not spoken to you in I don't even know how many years die days later, and y'all are stuck together with the fucking stepmother and father. No, doesn't get any better than that. That is karma out the ass. But anyway. So, all right. Well, it's 11:11. And I did not think I was going to go this far. Why didn't she move? Why didn't she? Why didn't she do a lot of things? She could have moved to New York. Thank you, Golden Mirror. She could have moved to New York, gotten an apartment. I mean, not a penthouse, and she could have lived her life there. I have another one for you. Saw it on Auntie Channel. Natasha. Oh, hold on. Natasha. I gotta think of another one for this week. I haven't thought of it yet. And then I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell them to think of it. I'm gonna tell y'all to do it. I don't know. Do y'all want to do another kind of famous one, or do you want to? Do you have one in mind, or whatever? I can. This is the little book that I've been. It's all these are unsolved. It's called "The Cases That Haunt Us," and it's written by two FBI. Oh, Rain Girl, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you, Enlightened Rogue. I appreciate y'all coming. I really do. I knew this one was going to be good. We got thank you, Halloween baby. Oh, thank you. We have we got Jack the Ripper in here. We got Lizzie in here, which I didn't really read much of that. The Lindbergh kidnapping, that was an interesting one. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to put up after this on my community post. Y'all go over there. Y'all go over there and put it in the bottom. Put it, leave a comment. And we'll pick one tomorrow. Because I got to do it. If I don't pick one by tomorrow, I have OCD. Something bad will happen. So we have to do it. In Henrico County, Deborah, if you, all right, I don't know, all of y'all, if y'all ever, you can go to your state's missing persons. They have a missing persons, and they also have an unidentified. Go to your state's missing person or unidentified. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked at how many cases are around you. It doesn't even matter what year and whatnot. It's crazy. It's crazy. I did that. That's why when I say Australia dingo took my baby. I don't even know what the name of that is. I'll have to look for that one. The dingo took my baby. I only remember that because it was on Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld, so I remember that. I remember Elaine doing that. That was funny. All right. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna let y'all go to bed. Sleep well. This wasn't eerie, scary. It's all right. It's good. I didn't show you any gore. I didn't do that. I was not gonna do that to everybody because let me tell you what, those autopsy photographs are effing bad. Especially him. Oh, and there's another thing that happened though. And this is real quick. Linda Chamberlain. what they did to those heads. I'm sorry. Hold on. They did this. Basically, they told the dude, the little mortuary dude, hey, can you snap those heads off and bring them to us? Can you snap those? Can you snap? Linda, that's what I got. Yeah. L-I-N-D White. Can you snap their heads off and bring them to me? Thank you, KB Investigates. I appreciate. Listen, y'all show up. Y'all, if y'all keep showing up, I'll keep doing it. I love you, Miss Sarah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for running things in there. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. I love you all very much. And I will listen. We're gonna do the two cases that Jody, who's in truth. I just gotta one, not forget that I'm doing them, and two, not run upstairs when you hear something crashing because it's never good. I'm not doing it anymore. No, thank you, Deborah. Thank you. I know we had a good night. So I will see y'all soon. I'll see you this week. It'll be Tuesday or Thursday. I'll do one of these. It'll be around 8. And we'll get these out. That way we just have something to do during the week. My dad dated a lady who disappeared. Really, Halloween baby? Oh. Night lights. All right, good night, guys. Sleep tight, stay safe. Love you much.